Hi there, it's Lori, and I'm here not with a story per se, but I'm answering the questions that both Linda Saxida and Helix Lexi put out there and answered. Linda tagged me, and Helix might have. But either way, I'll make sure all the questions are down there. Those ladies plus some more are tagged. And then if I tag you, and so sorry, that was yawn. Okay, if I tag you and you have a channel, I'd love to see your answers. But again, you don't have to. There's no answer the questions, please. Well, maybe there are. Anyway, just kidding. All right. So these questions, I'm going to try to make this kind of quick. Question number one, and they'll all be copied down below. How did I learn to crochet? Okay. So I always answer with my mom's mom. So my grandma, she taught me when I was little. I remember very little of what she taught me. I know I crocheted in high school. I learned younger than that. Little Christmas trees. And it's as soon as I turned on the camera, that's the problem. Yawning. All right. So I crocheted little Christmas trees, and I remember she taught us to crochet around like the plastic rings of the soda pop cans, a 6-pack of soda pop, whatever you call it. And we would make little Christmas wreaths. I remember doing that with her, sort of. But that was, I know I learned younger, but that's what I did in high school. I'm so sorry. So I apologize. I don't know what my deal is. Anyway, so that's really the beginning of my story. However, I took just about 20 years off, didn't crochet anything. Then after my divorce, I was dating a guy, and his mom was making the kitchen scrubbies and out of cutting up strips of tulle, and it's basically double crochets around and then decrease, sort of. She decreased it differently. So sorry. Or at least differently than I remember doing it for the last few years. And I don't think she called that. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's. I think I'm having allergy stuff. Anyway, sorry. So she was making that, and she was doing it for church fundraiser. So I'm like, okay, I'd like to learn that. That seems practical. So for about let's see, 13 years, all I did as far as crochet was crochet kitchen scrubbies. In 2020, I had to medically retire because of migraines, chronic, like literally every day. I have some kind of symptoms. Medicated now, so mostly good. Uh, anyway, I retire in, I guess, technically May 31st of 2020. It had nothing to do with what was going on in 2020. It had to do with migraines only, and that's it. Um, so I medically retired in 2020. And then January of 2021, my oldest daughter, who had been married for a couple of years, said, we're going to start trying to have a baby. And I'm like, okay. So I need to learn how to crochet a baby blanket. So then I started again on YouTube and all of that. So learned as a kid, then kind of relearned from an ex-boyfriend's mother, which I really appreciate, and then from YouTube at a much older age. So that gap, when I wanted to do a blanket, because I had never in my whole life, I went to YouTube. I'm pretty sure Bag a Day Crochet is who I watched for that first blanket. The second question is hard. The second question is, what's your favorite thing to crochet? Probably personalized special baby blankets. Probably. Sometimes I really like doing amigurumi. I mean, you can see the Care Bear and the ball up there. So sometimes I'm in a groove and I want to just do amigurumi. But mostly I'm finding my favorite is designing blankets, baby blankets. Like I have the sports blanket that's at its new owners and they love it. So I did this baby blanket. um, designed it, and the bee is a cloud, I decided, because I didn't feel like changing colors that much, to be completely honest. Anyway, that's out there. If you like it and want to do it, you could, of course, adjust it, but the graph is on my channel if you like that to look like honeycomb with that popcorn stitch. Anyway, so that's a blanket I designed. This is a blanket I designed. I'm not done with it yet. All right. That's why there's bobbins hanging all over it. I'm well more than halfway through this map, but I just have had priorities. So, oh, I really like making cat toys too, but I think my favorite thing to do is design a special baby blanket and then crochet it. If I had one yarn only, ever, this is question number 3. If I could only use one yarn for the rest of my life, I would probably say, well, I mean, I love Colorama Halo. The problem is, you can't, there's a lot of things. I don't know that I would want to use that for amigurumi. So maybe something, maybe blanket yarn. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Colorama Halo is my favorite yarn to work with, but I also know that it doesn't work for everything. Now, if I could just say, what kind of yarn would I want to use? I would say a high quality cotton, not like kitchen cotton. This is a cotton blend, but this is nice and soft. This is 100% cotton, and it's decently soft. It's really funny because some of this, so this is old, as in vintage old. Like, I don't know. I got it from somebody destashing their whole yarn thing. Anyway, it does have a barcode, so it has to be at least 1974. I don't remember who said that. 100% cotton. Does not tell me the weight of the yarn, but it says 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. But what's funny, I think it's this one, is look at the name of this. Are they not the same exact yarn? But this one's labeled Sports DK Weight. This one seems like maybe they used a little bit of the ball, but like, what's the difference? Anyway, that's random stuff. But nice cotton or a good cotton blend, you can do so much. 100% cotton, because then I can still make cat toys. So I guess 100% cotton. Only because Colorama Halo is got a whole other issues. Okay. The weirdest thing I ever made is not actually that weird. Not nearly as fun as Linda Saxaida's. And it was Linda Snyder's name for it. What was it called? It was such a good name. Anyway, it was, waffle sunburn, or waffle tan lines. Waffle tan lines. That's what it was. Anyway, I don't have anything as weird as that, but that's super cool. And I kind of lean toward this is weird, but it's super cool. I built, you can see the cardboard I did. I built a cat couch. Crocheted the cover. Used all kinds of different materials from packaging that I got. And then, every couch needs an Afghan, a blanket. So my cat couch, my cats use this a lot. The puppy was chewing on it, so I had to move it upstairs where the puppy couldn't get it anymore. But I haven't put it back together entirely yet, so we're having some technical difficulties. I think did I fix it? I might have fixed it. That's all right. Anyway, possibly the weirdest thing it's certainly the most unique thing I've ever made. We'll call it that. I don't think it's necessarily weird, but it's also like, of the things I've made, I would say that leans the most different or whatever. Oh, what will I never crochet? I don't see myself ever crocheting a temperature blanket. I have too many things in my brain in terms of design. Sorry about my phone. For me to ever do that. That's the only thing I can specifically think of. Because I've even used, just as I moved it down, I have used crochet thread. Now I need, sorry, ah, wrong way, this way. Now I need to actually use it. I've made a couple granny squares over here. This is a vintage cotton, and we figured out it could be as old as 50 years old. I don't think it's quite that old. But again, I got it. That was gifted to me from a lady in the crochet club, as well as about 3/4 of my crochet thread there. If you noticed, that's a little different than it was. I'm rearranging this room a little bit. Management problem. Yeah, I do. I was good, and then I wasn't good. Anyway, so that never crochet temperature blanket. All right, inspiration. I really like, honestly, my grandma, she made beautiful things, and I wanted to do it. And then I would see people knitting and crocheting, more knitting. During I was a teacher, during staff meetings and stuff. They would sit there and I just thought it was so cool, and I'm like, I really should get back to that. So it was partially my friend named Charlotte. Uh, it was my grandma, and then when I got on YouTube, the first few people I was really watching and learning from, Bag a Day Crochet, Jada and Stitches. I'm trying to remember the first like bigger channels, because I don't honestly remember smaller channels because I was looking for tutorials. I mean, I quickly expanded my list from there, but because I was like trying to learn things, I had to probably complicated knots for amigurumi, maybe. But I also get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, and then if I see a picture, I can take that picture and put it in stitchfiddle.com and make that. So anyway, that's what we've got there. That was number 6. Number 7, my favorite so far this year that I've crocheted is definitely this, like with hands down, without a question. This is my favorite thing. Now, have I finished it? No, but it's finished enough for me to know this is my favorite thing that I've ever crocheted. That's South America. If you can't tell, that's Antarctica. Anyway, this is probably my favorite thing that I crocheted this year. I'm not done with it, but I like the blanket yarn cardigan I made, but I have to correct one of the sleeves. Corrected one of them, but I haven't corrected the other one. So anyway, otherwise that would be my favorite. My crochet plans that I'm excited about. Okay, I'm going to make a mat blanket once I finish that. That's a piece of it. But I'm also going to make a mat blanket for myself that will have lots more detail, more topographical detail, and I might go larger as well. I think I'm using a larger hook and bigger yarn. Anyway, so I'm excited about that. I really hope I have time to go ahead and design a woodland animals quiet book, activity book. They're called different things. Anyway, I'm excited about hanging out with people on YouTube. That's fun. And well, I'm looking forward to doing the orange tabby that I guess is actually called marmalade, because instead of having stripes, like I put stripes on this kitty, the orange stripe is like a swirl. It's like 3 different colors and it's swirled like that. It is beautiful. So I'm really excited about that. That one's coming up. I'm working on that currently. Like I said, the mat blanket, I'm fairly close to done with it, but I'm not done with it. What other crochet plans am I excited about? Yeah, I have a lot of heavy creams over there. I'm excited about all of them, but the maps are what I'm most excited about. And then that orange tabby, marmalade tabby, or maybe it's orange marmalade. Maybe that's it. Anyway, okay. The worst thing about crochet, 2 things. We all know how I feel about weaving in ends. I will do just about anything to make that as easy as possible so I only have one end to weave in when I'm finished with a project. Otherwise, it feels like a whole other project. So don't like that. And I don't like cutting my yarn because of knots. I don't like, I want to make it work instead of cut my yarn. Y'all have seen it if you have watched a little bit of my content. So yeah, that's the worst thing about crocheting. My favorite thing about crocheting is you can make pretty close to anything out of yarn or thread. That's amazing to me. Like it feels magical. And the way people respond, like the sports blanket I just sent them, I actually put the kid's name on it. That's why you didn't see it again. Because I felt like that's private because it had a name on it. But with the football, the baseball, and the basketball, and her expression of this is my favorite blanket I've ever seen. Um, what that right there when you give, this is probably why I'm more likely to give people things than to make things for myself. Like this is actually a gift, and he's one of my favorite things that I've ever made. This little Care Bear, but she lives in Belfast. I live in Belfast, Northern Ireland. I live in Colorado. Weird small world. Her brother lives about 3 to 4 blocks away from me, like literally. So I need to connect with her. And whenever her brother or her nieces and nephews are coming out to visit, or if she's coming out to visit, I just need to know, and then she can have her bear. She did come into one of my lives and commented on it too. Shout out Debs. All right. Um, yeah, worst thing about crochet cutting. Oh, was I on favorite things about crocheting? Yeah, I was, right. Yeah, it's the both that you can pretty much make anything from yarn, and then secondly, um, people's appreciation when you give them something, and that goes for Happy Mail too. People, I've always been very appreciative. I really try to be. I'm a very thoughtful gift giver. Um, that's probably why I really like that part. Like I care. It's way more the thought that I put into things. People recognize it. Um, One ex-boyfriend said, nobody's ever given me a gift as special as this. And it wasn't even, to me, it wasn't even that big of a deal. I think it was only like $25, but it was the thought. It was the specific thing that I put thought into it. Anyway, so that's the 10 questions. Again, I will post them down below. I will list who actually wrote the questions. I'll put that channel's name because I can't remember right now, but that channel's name and their questions. And then I'll tag the two folks that I mentioned, Helix and Linda Saxaida. And then I'm going to tag a few other folks if you want to join in and answer these questions. There's a couple people I might email the questions to because I know they don't make content and I would love to know their answers. All right. Man, I have talked long enough. So I appreciate you all. These are Camille's project pages. Like it's got your project name, your yarn, your hook size, and then any notes, intentions. But they're coloring pages too. Just go to her posts and scroll back to the last full moon, and you'll find those, and you can grab those pages. All right. I will see you all later. Oh, and can I get an amen? Thanks for coming in.